Hello Suzaman. Hello everyone. Welcome to our channel German Ki Baat. This is Anand from Language Pantheon, and today we are going to discuss Goethe B1 exam pattern. So let's go right into it. Los geht's. Goethe German B1 exam consists of 4 different modules: Lesen, Hören, Schreiben, and Sprechen. Lesen consists of 100 marks. Hören also consists of 100 marks. Schreiben also consists of 100 marks. And Sprechen also consists of 100 marks. So each module consists of 100 marks and passing marks is 60. And one interesting fact to note here is, even if, let's say in worst case scenario, you are not able to clear, let's suppose here, you have cleared Lesen, you have cleared Schreiben, you have cleared Sprechen. And let's suppose you could not clear here. Then you need not give Lesen, Schreiben and Sprechen again. You only need to appear for Hören again. That's it. Now let's dive further into the German pattern of B1. First, we are going to discuss about Lesen. Lesen has 5 different tiles: Teil 1, Teil 2, Teil 3, Teil 4 and Teil 4. Total time allocated for Lesen is 65 minutes. There are 30 questions with 1 marks each. So 30 questions with 1 marks each. But I told you that Lesen is of 100 marks. How do you achieve that 100 marks? So we use a multiplier 3.33. Whatever marks you have obtained out of 30, it is multiplied with this multiplier 3.33 to get the total marks out of 100. Let's discuss Lesen tile further in detail. Tile 1. There is a blog entry. Blog entry as in there is a text. Somebody has written a blog. So there is a blog entry. This is your text. Based on the text, there are 6 questions. Richtig oder falsch? You have to select the correct option, richtig oder falsch. You have 10 minutes to do Teil 1. Moving on to Teil 2. Teil 2, there are 2 press reports. These 2 press reports serve as 2 different texts in this tile. And each of the press report has 3 questions each. All the 3 questions are MCQ based. MCQ means multiple choice questions. There are 3 options available: A, B or C. You have to select the correct option. Okay. So in totality, like I said, there are 3 questions for 1 text and there is another press report which has 3 questions. So in totality, there are 6 questions. And the time allocated is 20 minutes for this tile. Moving on to Teil 3. Teil 3 is advertisement based. There are 7 different people and the different needs and requirements of these 7 people are mentioned. And there are 9 advertisements. How many advertisements? 9. You have to match the people with the advertisements based on their needs and demands and requirements. One very important point to note here is that 1 out of the 7 people, you will not be able to fit any advertisement. Here you are going to mark null. Yeah, as in none of the advertisements are going to fit with this particular person. So how many advertisements I told you? There were 9. There were 9 advertisements and 7 people. But for 1 person, none of the advertisements are fitting. So basically you are fitting 6 people with different advertisements. 3 advertisements will remain in the end as it is. Don't worry about that. And this style is very tricky. You have to take care because if 1 question gets wrong, usually the question gets wrong in pair. As in 1 question doesn't get wrong, 2 questions get wrong. So you have to be really careful about this style. Also, take care of verbs. They try to confuse you with the verb. Okay, you have to focus. Okay, let's suppose I'm offering something, you need to be looking for something. I need to be, okay, I am offering something and you are looking for something, or I am looking for something and you need to be offering. Then only we can match. Then only we can match. Otherwise, we cannot match. And this is where they make it a little bit tough by using synonyms of the verb. You have to be really careful with the verbs. There are 7 questions, as in 7 people are there, 7 questions, and the time allocated is 10 minutes. Further, moving ahead, Tilefear. Tilefear has 7 laser briefer. Laser briefer, it means letters to the editor. There are 7 letters to the editor. In this letter to the editor, people are expressing their views, opinion, or outlook on a controversial topic. So there is basically a controversial topic. The text is not given here. They have just given the heading or the title of the controversial topic. Based on the heading, you have to decide whether the person is in favor or the person is against. If the person is in favor, you have to select yeah. If the person is against, then you have to select 9. One very important hint for you is, which many students miss. Look at the heading or look at the title at least twice or thrice. Don't just read once and go into it. Read at least twice or thrice so that it is firmly implanted in your mind that what is the title? What is the title asking for? Because if you understand it by even 1% chance wrong, then all your answers can be reversed. Instead of yeah, you would be marking 9, and instead of 9, you would be marking yeah. That would be a blunder, isn't it? So please, please, please read the title or the heading at least thrice. It's not going to take more than half a minute. So basically, like we discussed, there were 7 laser briefs, as in 7 questions, and the total time allocated is 10 minutes. And the last tile, Tilefear, there is a text. Based on the text, there are 4 MCQ based questions. You have to select A, or a B, or a C. And the time allocated is 10 minutes. So like we saw, this was lesson comprising of 5 different tiles, and the total time allocated was 65 minutes. Total marks, like I said, there were 30 questions, 1 marks each. Now how do we get the total marks out of 100? We use the multiplier of 3.33 and multiply and get the total marks out of 100. One important tip for you here. The total time allocated, I told, was 65 minutes, isn't it? Now what many people do, that they solve the entire question and in the last minute they start transferring the answers to the answer sheet. So what happens, many times you miss some questions, and many times it happens that you cannot even mark and the invigilator takes away your sheet. So you have 2 options. When you're solving, at the same time simultaneously keep on transferring your answers to the answer sheet, or what you can do is try to finish the entire lesson module in around 60 minutes so that you have 4 to 5 minutes to transfer the answers to the answer sheet. Please take care of that. This is a lifesaver tip. Let's moving on ahead. Hören. Hören has 4 different tiles. Tile 1, Tile 2, Tile 3 and Tilefear. Approximately a runtime of Hören is 40 minutes. It can obviously move a little bit up and down, but approximately it's 40 minutes. Just like lesson, there are 30 questions, 1 marks each. And how do we get the total marks out of 100? We use the multiplier of 3.33 to get the total marks out of 100 for Hören, just like lesson. Now let's discuss the tiles one by one in detail. Tile 1. It is zweimal, as in it is going to play twice. There are 5 short monologues or audio clips, and each monologue or audio clip is comprising of 2 questions each. The first question is Richtig oder falsch based. The second question is MCQ based, where you have to select A or a B or a C. From the three given choices, you have to select the correct alternative. So if you notice, there were 5 set of questions, okay, 5 audio clips or monologues, 2 questions each. So in totality, you have 10 questions, and this style lasts for approximately 15 minutes. For each set of questions, you get 10 seconds to read, as in to read what is given and the options. These monologues or these clips, okay, they can be very different things, right? From weather forecast to radio recording, or airport or railway station announcement, to automatic telephonic message, the message that you leave on the phone, that can be also given. So all these things can be given, and based on all this range, you are going to be tested, and it is going to be done zweimal, as in twice. Moving on to Teil 2. Teil 2, it is only einmal. It is not going to be repeated. It is only going to play once. There is one recording, and based on the recording, there are 5 questions. These 5 questions are MCQ based, where you have to select A or a B or a C. And this style lasts for approximately 5 minutes. And what this style has, basically, there is one recording where some person is guiding you to a tour or some place. And based on that, you have to mark the correct alternative. You are going to get 60 seconds in the beginning to go through all the 5 questions and the different options. Here you are going to get 60 seconds. Let's going on forward, Teil 3. Even Teil 3 is einmal. You have to be really careful. Einmal, it's not going to be repeated. There is one Gespräch, as in one short conversation. Based on this short conversation, there are 7 questions. You have to select richtig oder falsch. And the run time is approximately 5 minutes. The last Teil, Teil 4. This is zweimal, as in this is going to be repeated twice. What this Teil 4 is basically about, there is a discussion or a debate on a topic going on. And there are 3 people. There is one moderator who is leading the conversation or the debate, and there are 2 guest speakers. One person is generally in favor of the topic, and one person is generally against the topic. And based on the discussion, there are 8 questions, where these are multiple choice question based questions. You have to select A or a B or a C. And run time is approximately 15 minutes. In Teil 3 and Teil 4, both the tiles, you are going to get in the beginning 60 seconds to go through all the questions and the options. So basically, this goes on, or the runtime for hearing is 40 minutes, and the total marks is adjusted out of 30, 1 marks each, and whatever marks you are getting, that is multiplied with a multiplier of 3.33 to get the total marks out of 100. So that was all about hearing. Let's go on ahead. Schreiben. Schreiben has 3 tiles. Teil 1, Teil 2, Teil 3. Teil 1 is informal email. You are writing informally to a friend or an acquaintance or some relative. There are 3 points mentioned. You have to ensure that you are covering all the 3 points. You are not supposed to miss any of the point. Approximately 80 words is the word limit. Now, approximately I'm saying. So obviously your word limit can go few words above or low. That is totally fine. That works. Total time allocated is 20 minutes. And the marks, maximum marks that you can get is 40. That was Teil 1. Teil 2. Teil 2, you have to express your views and opinion on a given theme or a topic. You don't have to write a letter. There is a topic or a theme given. let's suppose from a newspaper or a magazine, there are 2 to 3 lines written. You have to read, you have to analyze, and based on that, you have to give your own view or outlook. Approximately 80 words you have to write on this. Again, obviously, it can go few words more or less, that's okay. The time allocated is 25 minutes, and the maximum marks that you can fetch here is 40. And Teil 3. Teil 3 is a formal mail. Remember, Teil 1 was informal email, while Teil 3 is formal email. You are writing to someone, usually it is appointment cancellation or rescheduling for some appointment. So usually these are these things. Approximately 40 words you have to write. It should not be very long. It should be brief, precise, and concise, to the point. 50 minutes is the allocated time, and the maximum marks that you can obtain here is 20. So total time is 60 minutes, and the total marks that you can obtain is 100. Remember, Teil 1, Teil 2, and Teil 3. In these 3 tiles, Teil 1 is informal email, while Teil 3 is formal email. Another very important point to note down here is that you have to take care of salutation and sign off. Salutation as in you are greeting the person in the beginning, and sign off as in you are saying goodbye. Both the things are really important in Teil 1 and 3. You are not supposed to miss that. This was all about Schreiben. Going forward with Sprechen. Sprechen has 3 tiles. Teil 1, Teil 2, Teil 3. Teil 1 is a short Gespräch, as in a short conversation. You'll be 2 examiners. There'll be 2 examiners and there'll be 2 participants, or as in 2 partners. The 2 partners or the 2 candidates are going to have a short conversation. This conversation lasts for approximately 3 minutes. 3 minutes as a whole of the conversation. Per candidate, you are going to get around 1.5 minutes time. There are 4 points mentioned. You have to cover all the 4 discussion points. You are not supposed to miss any of the point. If you miss, your marks will be deducted. And the maximum marks that you can get is 28 marks. Teil 2. Teil 2 is a short presentation on a current topic. Approximately 5 minutes you are supposed to speak on this, and the maximum mark that you can get is 40. Very important thing to note down here is for Teil 1 and 2, in together, for both the tiles, you are going to get some preparation time. This preparation time will be around 15 minutes. In this preparation time, you have to read what all your task is, what you are supposed to speak on, and you'll be given a paper where you can jot down your important points. In Teil 2 especially, where you have to give a short presentation, I recommend you to make a mind map. In this mind map, you can make your keywords or key points, and then you can elaborate these keywords or key points. Because you cannot remember what all you want to speak for the 5 minutes. You lose your train of thoughts. That is why this paper is going to be really helpful. But mind you, you are not supposed to write all the sentences, only the keywords or the key points. So Teil 1 was 28 marks, and Teil 2, this was a 40 marks. Teil 3. Teil 3 deals with the questions of the examiners and the fellow candidate about your presentation. You have presented on some topic, right? So based on this presentation, the examiners are going to ask some questions to you. Even the fellow candidate is going to ask some question. You are going to react to the questions, as in you are going to respond to the questions. And also, do not forget, the partner is going to present. Based on the partner's presentation, you are also going to ask him or her some question. This is also a part of Teil 3. Approximately the run time for this is 4 minutes. This tile lasts for 4 minutes. This means basically around 2 minutes per candidate. The total marks allocated for this tile is 16 marks. There's also marks for Aussprache. Aussprache as in pronunciation. This is allocated based on Teil 1, 2 and 3, all the three tiles combined, and 16 marks are allocated for this. Altogether as a whole, the total marks allocated is 100 marks and expression lasts for around 20 minutes. This was all about expression, schreiben, hören and lesen. Basically how the Goethe B1 exam pattern is. Now I'm going to discuss a few additional tips of my own. These tips are going to be really helpful for you to fetch more marks or better scores. Tip number 1, work on synonyms. Synonyms are going to be lifesaver for you, especially in lesen and hören. They'll be giving one meaning in the option, okay, and some other synonym will be used in the text or in the audio clip. So here is where your synonym or the vocab game really helps you out. So work on synonyms. The second tip from my end is B2.1. Now you must be thinking why I'm talking about B2.1. Now think about it. If you have done A2, A1 seems easier. If you have done B1, A2 seems easier. If you have done A2, A1 seems easier. If you have done B1, A2 seems easier. In the same way, if you do B2.1, B1 will seem easier. Your chances of clearing the exam and with good marks, the chances and the probability is really high. So I recommend you to do B2.1 before you appear for B1 exam. Also, hören. If you remember, I told you the total run time or the total duration of hören is around 40 minutes. And listening non-stop for 40 minutes is not easy. So half the battle is of concentration. You really have to concentrate well. So try listening to audio non-stop since almost 1 or 2 months earlier itself. Maybe 15-20 minutes in one go or half an hour in one go. So that your mind is trained to listen and to analyze things. You might be really good at hearing, but you have to start analyzing things in a long run. Like whether you can listen for half an hour and you can process things correctly. So please keep that in mind. The fourth and the last tip from my end, it is Kaswai. Kaswai is really helpful in expression. When you're interacting with examiners or the fellow candidate, use Kaswai. This can fetch you extra marks. So that's all from my end regarding the Goethe B1 exam pattern. Hope you found the video of B1 exam pattern helpful. If you have any further queries, you can leave your queries in the comments below. Please do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel German Ki Baat. And please hit the bell icon so that whenever a new episode is released, you get notification for that. That's all from today's episode of German Ki Baat. Vielen Dank.